One thing that many companies get wrong with their emerging leaders or their first-line leaders is that they send them off to this wonderful leadership class, maybe a couple of weeks in a residential type of setting, and it's great, full of all this motivation. They come back and they're all pumped up, and then they don't know what to do next. So what I'm going to do is fill in that gap and let you know what you need to do next to really get your leadership journey off to a great start. So what I'm going to give you is one simple tool to get you going off on the right path. And that simple tool is one question which you're going to ask everybody you find. You're going to ask it in meetings. You're going to ask it in an email. You're going to ask it in the coffee line. And what you're going to do is you're going to say, what can I do in the next 90 days to make your work life better? What can I do in the next 90 days to make your work life better? And you'll start by asking that question of your boss. Maybe your boss's boss. And the additional question you might ask of your boss is, who else should I be asking this question to? Jot that down. You'll go to your team and you'll ask them, both individually and in a group meeting, because you will get different responses, what should I do in the next 90 days to make your work life better? You'll ask marketing, you'll ask HR, you'll ask finance, you'll ask research, you'll ask customer service. You'll go through all of those, and in your first 30 days, that's going to be your focus, asking that question, getting those answers. Then you'll take your answers and you'll start writing them on yellow stickies. And you'll put them up on your wall or whiteboard. And you'll start looking for patterns. And you'll start looking for, are the categories, do they fall into, is this a process issue, a communication issue, a training need? What do these things fall into? And there may be a bucket that you think is the BS bucket, but that's okay. Don't put that necessarily on your whiteboard. And then you may also get some that are kind of sensitive. Some that may say, fire Bob. You don't want to put that up there either. You might want to put resolve personality issues, something a little more, a little less drastic sounding. But you get all those things up on your board. And then as people come in and they see that, you'll note their comments and so on. And at the end of that 30-day period, when you've gathered as much data as you can in that 30-day period, because we're going to limit this, then you're going to bring in either your team, a few senior members of your team, and you're going to discuss this, and you're going to prioritize, and you're going to figure out what can you do in 90 days. Because you'll get some stuff you can't do in 90 years. And even though you're asking for one thing for people to focus, some people will give you a whole list. Others will say, oh, I'll get back to you. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. So it's going to be a real hodgepodge of items, but that is perfectly okay because that is what you want. And then you'll help strategize with your team about what items you can do, what's your low-hanging fruit, what can you do immediately in that 90 days, how you're going to respond back to the people who gave you this lovely feedback. All of those kinds of strategies. The one thing you are not going to do is volunteer to do any of it yourself, because those days are over. But you may be thinking, well, I'm the technical expert. I'm the go-to guy. I'm the go-to girl. Isn't that why they hired me? Not in this role. In this role, it's your job, as much as it hurts, not to actually do anything. You're going to manage it. You're going to lead it. And one of the other things that you'll discover, even as you have everything all beautifully mapped out, that the daily rhythms of work life will interfere. Some things will fall off the raft, whether you want them to or not. The real purpose of this exercise is to get you out of the mode of the technical expert who already knows everything and into the mode of the leader who's asking questions, getting input, and looking at a much broader vision. This way you have expanded your network. Your stakeholders know that you care about what they care about. You have taken the first step in that leadership journey.